One of the great things about energy work is that pain usually diminishes as energy is freed. The energy techniques for reducing pain are pain tapping, the spindle cell pinch, pain chasing, acupressure sedating points, and the use of magnets. There's a lot of different pain techniques, and I'm going to start from the simplest, the easiest ones until they get a little bit more complicated. And because some of these are so simple and they're so wonderful to know. First thing to know, if you have pain and you can tap the pain, if you can tap it like this and it doesn't hurt too much, then tap it. Because if it doesn't hurt too much, it will begin to break up the congestion, just tapping it. If you have sore shoulders, if you take a hairbrush and tap your shoulders with a hairbrush, any kind of tapping will break up the pattern of bringing too much energy to that area, and will often relieve it part way or all the way, many times all the way. If you have really tight shoulders, that's a great thing to do. Just tap your shoulders. There's also a technique that let me see if I can tell you. All right. Zero in on your own bodies and be aware that there are zones running on your body. Zones on your body. There are 6 in the front of you and 6 in the back of you. There are 6 below your waist and 6 above your waist, okay? But there are literally 12 zones in all, but half of them are below. They go like this, but they are, you split them in 2. You split them in 2 at your waist. Now, what I mean by that is, say you have a pain, say I have a pain right there. Okay, this is pretend. I've got a pain. Right. Does somebody have a pain right now? A little pain, a baby pain, and it's not spread. This is a kind of pain if it's like sort of a pinpoint pain. Do you have one of those kind of pains? Okay, come up here. And where's your pain? Right there? Yeah, right around here. Right there. You find it. Right in the middle. Yeah. Oh, in the middle. Okay. And so it's right below the waist, though. Okay. Now you can test this, but nobody has to test it. If you tap the wrong place, it won't hurt you. Okay? It won't hurt you if you've tapped the wrong place. It simply won't work. So move to the zone next door. But we can find out. We can find out if we're going to tap the right point, okay? So this is the front of your body, the front inside of your body. So everything below the waist, you'll find the tapping point on the inside of your ankle, okay? Right here on the back of your ankle, down below your ankle, and just slightly, let's see. I'm going to say that again. On the back of your ankle, right next to your tendon back here, and then right next to your ankle, and then right at the bottom of it, okay? Those are the 3 tapping places. And if it's on this side of the body, you'd tap down there at the ankle on this side of your body. If it was on that side of the body, you'd tap on that side, okay? If it was above the waist on the front of your body, you're going to have the tapping points on the inside of your wrist. If it's on the back side of your body, it's the back of the wrist. If it's on the back side of your legs, it's on the outside of the ankle. I've never taught it this way. I always have a diagram, but if you learn it this way, you might remember it, okay? And just keep it in your head that the inside of the ankle is the inside of the body, below the waist. Inside on top is the inside of the wrist, okay? So now I'm going to come down. And since it's right about in the middle, it might be on both sides. But first, let's see. Hold your arm next to your body strong. Okay, and hold. All right. Now I'm just going to touch these places. Okay, hold your arm next to your body. That's not the point. See if this is it. And that's the point. You lose your energy when you find the point. Now, so what you would do, we found the point, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to tap her. I'm going to tap about 10 seconds. And then I'm going to stop for 10 seconds. Because there are two types of impulses you want to start moving from the brain to change this pattern. So after about 10 seconds, I'm going to tap for about a minute more. I'm going to let that one go for a minute, and I'm going to tap over here. And I'm going to stop for 10 seconds. And then I'm going to start tapping again. And you stop so that the second type of impulse will start moving. Now, this type of technique works about 8 out of 10 times if you don't have another kind of block. And I didn't do it long enough. You want to do it a little bit more. But it will continue to work for about 10 minutes after you're through tapping, okay? And 8 out of 10 times, it'll take care of it. Now, if you got something else going on in a block, then it's going to be one of those a couple of times it doesn't work. What I'd do is I'd sit down and tap your own and see what happens, okay? Okay, thank you. And then let us know in about 10 minutes, did it all go away, okay? Yeah, you could just put your foot up in your lap and do it that way. There is, at the belly of the muscle, a cell called a spindle cell. And it's not the belly of the muscle, the belly of the cell. There's a little mechanism called a spindle cell. And it resets energy, okay? Now, I'm going to pretend you've got a pain, okay? We're going to pretend, I'll tell you what, I can look at a place where you probably have a bit of a pain. See, right there, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch it and then spindle cell it, which means I'm going to, well, we can't quite get to it, but yeah, I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to pull it apart. And then I'm going to come to it, and I'm going to pinch it like that. And the pinch is really small, and it's called a spindle cell pinch. And it resets the mechanism so that the energy begins to move. Now, that was very little I did, but I'm going to come to that place again, and you tell me if it's any different.
It's fine.
Yeah, it really is so simple. You just, wherever you've got a pain, stretch it and pinch it. Stretch it and pinch it. I'm going to show you something else while I've got you up here with the spindle cell. A lot of people get repetitive stress syndrome in their hands. What is it? What is the other word for that? Carpal tunnel, okay? And why that happens is perhaps because of the repetition you're doing, something stops the energy. It's an unnatural thing to do that kind of repetition, and the energy doesn't keep flowing off the hands. And so this is good. All right, so what I want you to do is this. First, I'm going to test you. You hold your arm real strong. You're very strong. Now, just go like this a few times as if it's a repetitive thing, okay? And now, okay, just put your hands out. And so that if she had to do a repetitive thing, she might have trouble, okay? So here's what you do. If you've got it, or if you feel like there's any tendency, or you're not releasing energy. I was pretty sure she'd have that, because anybody who gets a lot of energy congested up here often would have a tendency if they were in that situation. But if you can't come along like this and pinch, just pinch, 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 all on the inside of the arm, it suddenly tells the cells to release energy. And you can literally turn your carpal tunnel syndrome around. Okay, now see if you can do this without with the energy not stopping. Okay, now put your hand out again. And this time the energy continues to go. So it's a really good prevention too. That's good. All right. This takes a little bit more knowledge if you look at it in one way. If you look at it in the other way, you can just look at the chart, the meridian chart, okay? If you have a pain directly on your meridian, Say, all right, say for instance, this is the lung meridian, and it travels from here straight off the thumb, okay? Say he has a pain right here, and I go, oh, that's right on the meridian itself, okay? So what I would do, I know that the pain is right there. I would come to the beginning of the meridian, and I'd say, is there any pain there? And he'd say yes or no, and probably he'd say no, and then I'd go a little further. I'd just travel along the meridian. I'm chasing the energy, okay? Pretty soon I'd get to a place, he'd say, oh, whoa, that hurts there. I said, okay, because pain runs in pairs. You may not know you've got another place on the meridian, but you do. So I'd hold them both until the energy releases and the pain leaves. And I'd say, which one left? And he'd say, this one. So I'd go up a little further, and he'd say, oh, there it is again. So I'm just chasing that pain like squeezing a toothpaste tube, okay? And then pretty soon I'm getting closer to his original pain. He says, you know what? That original pain isn't there anymore, because we're now squeezing it off the meridian. And so I do the same thing all the way down until it jumps off the thumb. You chase it off the meridian. Did everybody kind of get how that works? All right. And that particular pain technique, even though it may take a little longer, because especially if it's a long meridian, you're going to be there for a while waiting for that pain to chase down the path. But if you've had a chronic pain for a long time that you can't get rid of, you've gone down every path imaginable, and your pain is still there, this is one of the best ways I know to get rid of pain, because it's locked in on the meridian, and you've got to chase it off the meridian. So I've seen people who've had pain for years. You just chase it off, and it goes away. And I'm going to tell you one thing that can happen. If you get to the end of the meridian, and it doesn't jump off the body, for just a very few seconds, hold the acupressure sedating points on that meridian, and it'll jump the rest of the way. Okay? The pain technique that I tend to rely on most is acupressure sedating points. If you can realize that wherever you have pain, you've got too much energy. You've got too much energy congested in an area. And if you've ever had, for instance, a cut on your arm, and if you put your hand near that area, you'd say, whoa, there's a lot of heat there. That's energy. That's energy. And when it gets too much and doesn't leave, the pain stays. And if you want to get rid of pain, if you hold the acupressure sedating points to that muscle, or that part of the body that the meridian's on, that is on a chart, okay? You can just look on the chart, hold the sedating points. It will take the pain away. And sometimes it feels like a miracle. It'll take it so fast. Within 3 or 4 minutes, you're out of pain. And just to repeat, there are always 2 points you hold together, and the diagram will show first points, it will say, and there'll be 2 points, and you hold them both for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you hold the second points for 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Even though I have worked intermittently and even taught classes on magnets for these last 22 years, because they can do some wonderful things. You can do wonderful things with little magnets. In these last 2 years, I've really learned much more because of my own particular self and the things I had to learn with magnets on my own body. So I have a lot of, what's the word? I feel humble before them because they are powerful. Now, these are not strong magnets. These are about 17 cents a piece at Radio Shack, so you can know the strength, how strong they probably are. They're what they use in electronic things. So you can get them at any craft store or a Radio Shack. And my suggestion is to start with weak magnets, because magnets are strong and they do move energy. You're electromagnetic. In fact, I will show you this. This is valuable to know. Okay, you put your arm up real strong. All right, she is so electromagnetic, and every one of you are, that I can find out which is the north side and which is the south side of a magnet on her body, okay? So if I put the magnet over her ear like that and test, that will show me that's the north side because she lost energy. Turn it over on the south side, she will have strength, it will gain strength. It doesn't mean that it really took it away, but the north side, what it does is it pulls everything away from the limbs and goes right to that area. And the south side disperses energy. So if you have, if you want to disperse energy, you will often use the south side. If you want to bring energy there and bring some healing in, you will use the north side. So with pain, it is usually the north side, okay? Even though you have too much energy there, it is still the north side because it brings all the healing energy and shoots out the energy that doesn't need to be there. So if you have a pain, like a couple of nights ago, I got something right here in my elbow. And I took the north side. Let's find out what's the north side, okay? That's the north side. I took the north side and I just taped it there for about 5 minutes, and the pain was gone. You know, and it works fairly fast. Just put it right on top of the pain, okay? And it'll take it away. North side, north side. If you have a broken bone, okay, the north side goes, say my bone is broken there. The north side would go under the break, the south side above the break. Okay, and you create a closed circuit so that your bones can mend better. And the reason why I would say you don't need anything stronger than this. You really don't, because if you get it stronger, if you get a strong magnet, I mean, you're fooling with real powerful energy, yanking your energy around, and you want to do something that'll really work with your energy and just use it for short amounts of time. Okay, let's see. And so, all right, again, and you can also use a compass to find which side is which, but you can test it on yourself or test it on somebody else. The north side will make you lose energy. The south side will make you strong, okay? So, do you have a pain anywhere on your body?
Well, my stomach's been bugging me.
Your stomach's been bugging you. Now, this is very interesting. I'm just going to talk about stomachs for a minute because there are some things that you think, well, that's a pain. I'm going to use the north side. But what if it is that your digestive tract is just really locked up? Then you're going to want to disperse it. Okay? So you're going to want the south side. So if one side doesn't work and you don't notice any difference after 10 minutes max, I would say 5 minutes usually, flip it over and try the other side. Okay? So that's what I would say to you. I want to show one more thing. Okay, one more thing. Because I've already got my dental floss on this one, so I can show it. This is, all right, this is called a Vivaxin syndrome, what I'm going to show you. And many, many people have what is called a Vivaxin syndrome. It means that at the moment of your birth, if your birth was difficult, or if your own spirit had a hard time coming in on this plane, if you had any difficulty, triple warmer, this is one of the good things it does, to a certain extent anyway, it can save your life at birth. It will magnetize your energy field so that you're more able to come out and be in this energy field that is so different than inside the womb. And in many cultures, when a baby becomes 3 months old, they demagnetize the field of energy so that they will not have a vulnerability, so they will not keep a kind of magnetized field on any of their meridians. And I've been to about 3 different places in the world where it's just a common custom at 3 months old. Like some cultures do not consider that they wait until after the baby's 3 months old to make sure the baby's actually going to be here and stay and not die. And it's like and they name them after 3 months old. So I'm going to show you how you can find out if a person has a Vivaxin syndrome. Okay, what I want you to do is keep your feet together, okay? And put your arm up here like this. And I'm going to spin you in a tiny little circle, and we're going to see if you're equally as strong all the way around the circle. Okay, so you hold your arm real strong. Okay, little teeny weeny circle. Okay. So far, she's just fine. Do it with one finger. She's weaker in this direction. Now this is valuable to know, because in this direction, it may be the direction you're teaching a class, or it may be the direction in which you're standing and cooking your food. You might, and it doesn't mean that something's actually wrong with you. It means that there's still a slight magnetization that maybe as a child, your back brain says, it's still too dangerous to take this away. And because it's never removed, then the body learns it as a habit, okay? But if you remove it, and it's very simple, you are not as vulnerable to illnesses. Or it could be depressions. Whatever is your vulnerability, okay? So what you would do in this direction, it's very simple. You take one of these little tiny magnets and you spin it. At the ends of your fingers are the ends of all of them, half of the meridians come off the ends of your fingers or begin at the ends of your fingers. So I'm just spinning this magnet in both directions. And it's like cleaning a cassette tape. We're just demagnetizing you. Yeah. She can feel it, and you do.
More in this hand than this one.
Yeah. So I'm going to do it down at your feet too, okay? And what I'm going to say to you is that for the next week or so, whenever you take a bath, put baking soda in your bath. It'll help your body learn to not magnetize over. Then dust yourself afterwards with baking soda. It's really, really good for your electromagnetic fields, and it keeps you really clear. Now close your eyes, because you've got a few meridians coming on your head here. For many people, doing it one time is all they will ever need. Once in a while, there are things in our electronic world that can throw you off. Like some people can't go through a turnstile at the airport. You go through that thing and they check you to see if you have any metals or whatever, or any weapons, I guess. Well, that can throw a lot of people's Vivaxin syndrome off. But let's see. We're going to test you in this direction now. Very strong, and you should be able to go all the way around. And it'll just make you stronger in this world. There you are. You're welcome. Okay. Here is a review of energy techniques for reducing pain. Pain tapping, the spindle cell pinch, pain chasing, acupressure sedating points, and the use of magnets.